The planet Cartha was known for one thing: its ruthless trade in sentient labor. While the Galactic Council publicly condemned such practices, behind closed doors, their officials bid eagerly for the strongest, smartest, and most exotic of the captured species. And among them, the most coveted was the Valari, tall, lithe beings with opalescent skin and bioluminescent eyes. They were renowned for their agility, intelligence, and submissiveness once broken. In the belly of a slaver fortress on Cartha, she was known only as Specimen V-47. Her given name, Ilari, had been spoken only once since her capture, and that was during her screaming resistance before the branding iron silenced her pride. She had once served as a sky singer on her homeworld, a prestigious role, guiding celestial harvests with harmonic resonance. But now she scrubbed floors, served cruel masters, and slept on cold steel. Hope had long died, until the human arrived. Dr. Elias Mercer was a xenolinguist, sent by the Terran Unity to evaluate the fortress's rehabilitation program. The Unity had made public strides to abolish all forms of sentient trafficking, but Elias knew better. His assignment was unofficial, his goals personal. His younger sister had vanished during a diplomatic mission to a border system suspected of slave operations. And though her case had grown cold, Elias's obsession hadn't. He took every mission that brought him closer to the shadows, always looking, always hoping. The moment Elias entered the fortress, he felt the wrongness in the air. Not just the guards' smug stares or the sterile corridors, it was the silence of the property. The beings here didn't whisper or cry. They simply obeyed. It was like walking among living ghosts. And one ghost looked back. In a line of silent Valari servants, one met his gaze directly. Her luminescent eyes didn't flicker with defiance or rage. They shimmered with recognition, desperation. He wasn't sure, but something in her stare gripped him. "Who is she?" he asked the overseer. "That one. Just a cleaner. She's half broken. Not for sale yet. Too quiet to be useful. Too stubborn to break fully. You want something more compliant." Elias ignored the suggestion. "I want to speak with her." Middle. They brought her to him in chains. She knelt, head bowed, in a small observation room. Elias dismissed the guards and sat on the opposite side of the table. "You don't have to kneel," he said gently. She didn't move. "I'm Elias Mercer. I'm not here to hurt you." Still nothing. He tried in Valari. "Ilari?" Her head lifted sharply. She studied him, visibly shaken. "That name is mine," she whispered hoarsely. "How do you know it?" "I recognized the glyph on your uniform. It's a name mark, isn't it?" Her lips trembled. "No one here has ever spoken it." The silence stretched. Then she whispered, "Why?" "Because you deserve to be spoken to. Not branded. Not broken." Ilari closed her eyes. Something cracked in her face. Not physically, emotionally. Elias could see it. Her defenses, the ones she'd built to survive, were weakening. He came back the next day. And the day after. Every visit was met with cautious silence that slowly thawed into whispered words. She told him of her capture. Of her people, whose culture was music and healing. Of the long days she spent scrubbing blood she couldn't identify from dungeon floors. Of the way hope was used like a blade, granted in small doses, then snatched away to ensure obedience. He told her of Earth. Of oceans that sang against the shore. Of animals kept not in cages but in sanctuaries. Of how he searched for those stolen from their homes, because he couldn't find his sister, but he could still save others. One evening, as guards were late in collecting her, Ilari said, You shouldn't be here. They'll sell me to spite you. Or worse. I'll stop them, Elias said. You can't. The buyers are already arriving. That night, Elias sent a message back to his contact in the Terran Unity. Pull the trigger, he typed. The fortress is a front. Full tactical breach, priority. Save the sentience. But the reply was cold. No confirmation. Insufficient evidence. Extraction in 48 hours. Too late. The auction would be tomorrow. Climax. Elias didn't sleep. He wandered the compound, recording what he could, snapping covert pictures and preparing dossiers. But as the hours passed, dread gnawed at him. If Ilari was sold, she'd vanish. Somewhere far worse than this place. There would be no way to track her. He needed to act. That night, as thunder cracked above Kartha, Elias bribed a junior technician for access to the cell levels. There were over 70 sentients below. Most were unconscious or too weak to walk. He couldn't help them all, but he could save one. He found her shackled to the wall, eyes wide in the dark. You came back. I'm getting you out. There are guards. He held up a security pass. I've got 5 minutes before this overrides desync. You trust me. She hesitated. Then slowly she nodded. They ran. Past dark corridors. Past rooms where other beings stirred in confusion. Ilari stumbled but kept pace. Her body was worn down, but something else, something brighter, was powering her now. At the launch bay, Elias keyed in the stolen code. A small survey shuttle, barely capable of Otmo jumps, hissed as its ramp lowered. But the overseer was waiting. Traitor, the man spat. Your Unity. Elias stood tall. No, I'm human. And I know evil when I see it. The guard drew a weapon. Ilari stepped in front of Elias without hesitation. The overseer laughed. Still protecting your pet. She's nothing. Then her voice rang out, not as a whisper, but a powerful harmonic cry. The air shimmered. Elias clutched his ears. Even the overseer staggered. The lights in the bay exploded. Sparks fell like stars. The Valari weren't just singers. They were weapons when their harmonics were free. The blast wave stunned the overseer. Elias grabbed the weapon, tossed it aside, and pulled Ilari up the ramp. They launched seconds before alarms blared. The shuttle rattled into the stratosphere, and Elias set coordinates for a Unity safehouse on a nearby moon. They didn't speak for the first hour. Silence wrapped around them like a blanket. Then she whispered, I remembered my voice. Ending. The debrief was a blur. Unity Command couldn't ignore Elias now. Not with evidence, maps, and a liberated Valari survivor offering testimony. A military task force descended on Kartha 3 days later. The fortress fell in less than an hour. The slaves were freed. The slavers tried and sentenced. Publicly, Elias could have returned to Earth. He was offered commendations, promotions, even book deals. But he stayed. At the Unity's edge, where aid stations received the broken and displaced. Ilari stayed too. She began to sing again, not for harvests but for healing. Her voice stitched wounds, soothed nightmares, and helped others rediscover what had been stolen from them. One day, she found Elias adjusting medical crates at a supply depot. You never asked me why I trusted you, she said. He looked up, a little older, a little more tired. Why? Because you said my name. And you said it like it mattered. She reached out, touched tentative but sure, and placed her palm over his heart. You gave me back my name. My voice. My future. He smiled. You gave me something too. She tilted her head. You reminded me that even if you can't save everyone, you still save who you can, one at a time.